Hi, this is Jana and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm so excited. This is one of my all-time favorite dishes and you can use it for brunch, breakfast, dinner, dinner, dessert, like a bread pudding. You can make this for everything. If you hear pounding and construction in the background, it is our golden retriever's tail hitting the cabinet door. So I can't help that. That's just a golden retriever. So this is such a fast dish. I'm going to show you. I have a 9x13 casserole. I'm going to spray it with some avocado spray. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I've got 3 cups of whole milk. And I really think that whole milk is appropriate for this, but you can try it. But we're making a custard. And so I got eggs that I barely whipped into the 3 cups of milk. I have a 12-ounce bag of white chocolate morsels. These happen to be the Ghirardelli, but you can use any white morsels that there are. And into that milk, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Don't you like my measuring technique? I like the vanilla taste. And then I'm just going to gently stir these, let them set. I just wanted to get them stirred up into that warm milk. And then we're going to mix this chocolate mixture into the egg mixture. And this is super fast and it is so delicious. It's one of my husband's favorites too. I make it for us for brunch on Sundays. My family likes it. It's just yummy. And then, you can make it, well, I guess you're going to see, it bakes for only about 30 minutes. So preheat, because it just doesn't take it very long, so preheat your oven to 365 degrees. If your oven doesn't have 365 degrees, turn it to 375 and then halfway through, turn it down to 350, and that way you're right in between. And so this is starting to get broken in. Look at how glumped in there. I'm gonna shake it out here. Chocolate, melting chocolate. Look at big old glop. But it's okay. It's gonna all get melted. I'm gonna let that set for just a minute. And what I have here is, you know, when you go to Sam's Club, you can get a box of 12 croissants for $4.98. $4.98 for 12 croissants. This recipe has 4 croissants, and I just cut them into great big, look at, big pieces. And I'm gonna put those right into my 9x13 pan. And the crumbs. Just like that. Okay? And then I've got, I'm gonna move this over for a minute. I've got 9 eggs, and I'm gonna add to the 9 eggs, I forgot to grab my salt. I'm gonna add just a pinch of salt, not much, just a tiny pinch, not even a 1/4 teaspoon, maybe an 1/8 of a teaspoon to my eggs. And this is really important. Do not beat the eggs. You just want to fork them until the yellows and the whites are kind of indistinguishable, but you don't want to beat them because that's going to break the custard. And we want this to be a delicious custard, okay? And so now I'm going to go back over here to my chocolate. I think my milk might have cooled down just a minute while we were getting set up here. It's okay. Even if it's clumpy like this, it's okay. It will all melt in the oven. Get my whisk all cleaned out. Get my fork all cleaned out. There. Okay. Now this is really important. This milk is warm. I only microwaved it. Everybody's microwaves are different. Start with about 1.5 minutes in your microwave for those 3 cups. Maybe even with 1 minute if you have a high power microwave. You can always make it warmer, but you don't want to make it too hot. You do not want it hot. And so this is important. We're going to temper, even though there's chocolate in here, we're going to slowly, and this is very important. Do you see, Erin, can you catch the slow drizzle? I am, oops, just doing, this is real, people. This is real, keeping it real. A slow drizzle into your eggs, because you don't want to cook your eggs with that warm milk. We're going to just temper the eggs with a slow drizzle so that they all become the same temperature at once, so that if you put in too hot a milk into your eggs, what that's going to do is it's going to like kind of part scramble them, and then it won't taste very good. There's all that chocolate. And then we're going to pour this over the eggs, over the croissants. Get a little spatula here. Well, maybe it's not a little one, but it's a spatula and it'll get the job done. Get all that chocolate out of there. I want you to know that even though there is a whole entire package of vanilla chips in here, I am going to add a ½ cup of sugar to this, but I'm going to mix it up just a little bit more here. Here, I'm going to have you grab me a ½ cup of sugar. And you don't have to add that whole ½ cup of sugar. And this sounds like it would be something that is so sweet that you'd be like, oh boy, not for breakfast. But I tell you, this isn't like a cinnamon roll sweet at all. This is like a bread pudding sweet where you don't have all the brown sugar and everything. Thank you. And so I'm only going to add not even all of that. I don't think you need it. To that milk and the egg mixture. And now all I do, get this out of the, so I'm going to pour this over. I'm being careful not to slop it on my stove here. I'm going to pour this over. Look at all the chocolate, so that as you get to that chocolate on the bottom, just kind of distribute it evenly through your casserole. This looks like you'd say, I'm not so sure about this, but I can tell you that I've shared this recipe with some people and they all think it's absolutely wonderful and their families loved it too. And you do not have to do this overnight. No, you just do it just exactly like this, right at the last minute. You don't have to soak it. It works perfectly. I buy those big packs of Sam's Club croissants, and I put 4 in a Ziploc bag and pop them in the freezer. And you can also do this, and I'm going to do it for you at another time, and do the same croissant only with breakfast sausage and eggs and cheese. And I'm going to do that one for you too real soon. All right, that is all there is to it. Now I am going to pop it into the oven. Oh, my gosh. Erin, thank you so much. What would I do without my daughter? It's raspberry. I forgot to put the raspberries on. We're keeping it really real today. Jana's messing up her stove and spilling. And I have frozen raspberries. Normally I buy the fresh ones, and this time of year they are coming in still fresh. You can buy them either at Sam's Club or your grocery store. They're beautiful right now. And I have these in my freezer because I make this so often at our house that I keep. And you have to kind of watch because there are little stems sometimes in the frozen ones, I've noticed. Just pull them out. It's all natural. It's nothing foreign. And you can put as few or as many as you want. I've had people do strawberries too in this dish, and strawberries work good. Mixed berries would work. Blackberries would work. And here comes my husband home from the store. He went and grabbed me some heavy whipping cream for the topping. All right, now I'm going to pop it in the oven. Thanks to Erin. I'm going to pour that juice in there too. We'll be right back. Here's just one tip I wanted to be sure to share with you. How do you know that this is done? Is you're going to stick a knife into the center of it, and that's custard, and you're going to see that that's, custardy. And try another area, as long as it's not super milky, but there's going to be a custard on the center. But when you shake it, it's not going to be loose all over, maybe just a little towards the center. And so just make sure you bake this, depending upon your oven and the type of dish that you're using. It's going to bake anywhere from 35 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes, depending on your oven, to 40 minutes, somewhere in there. And then if you let it set, for those 10 minutes or so afterwards, it's going to continue to cook. But that's how you're going to tell. See, a nice outside, it's golden. you can tell that it's, cooked through. But you'll just want to make sure when you wiggle it. Now this has been sitting here for a while, but it's not going to wiggle all over. It's going to be, done. And you can also, cover it with foil halfway through, and that way it doesn't get too brown on top. And then in the last few minutes, you can take the foil off and finish cooking it until it looks like this. Welcome back, and we have our raspberry croissant breakfast casserole, brunch casserole. I'm telling you what, it is absolutely delicious. You can see it's still bubbling a little bit around the edges. You do want this to set for just a few minutes before you cut it. This can be served warm, hot, room temperature, or cold. However, you do want to refrigerate it if you're storing it, okay? And when I say room temperature, it's like if you put it out on a brunch buffet, and even though, according to ServSafe, cold foods need to be cold. They need to be below 45 degrees of serving it on a buffet. And so I just want you to know that this is okay because it is a cooked egg and cooked milk for short periods of time. But I would not leave it out for very long, and then you need to refrigerate it soon. But I would say that if you leave out at room temperature for, a half hour to 45 minutes, you're going to be fine, and then store it right away into a cold refrigerator, and don't put other hot foods around it. Make sure everything's, cooled down a little bit. And I also made some breakfast link sausages, patty sausage. Patties go really great with it. You can do pork or turkey or whatever your favorite thing is, chicken sausages with this, or bowls of fruit, that kind of thing. It's absolutely beautiful. This is perfect for Easter brunch. Oh my goodness, this is so good. Spring bridal showers and bridesmaids luncheons, that type of thing. This is absolutely so easy to do, and you can have everything ready, throw it together in the last minute. All you need is a microwave and an oven, and you're set to go. And so this is going to get cut up, and we are going to enjoy. I'm going to get a red spatula. I probably might want to wait a little bit longer to cut this. I think it just cuts a little nicer without falling apart if you just wait a few minutes before diving into this. I need to get a narrower spatula. Erin, can you grab me a knife? I think just in case I need a little help off of this. Look at this. Oh my goodness. And you can do a sugar frosting, confectioner's frosting on this for, serving. If that is what you would like. But personally, I prefer some fresh heavy cream on top of mine. This is Jana's raspberry croissant breakfast or brunch casserole. I hope that you try it. You can see, I'm going to lift this up, you can see. You know how custard is like a creme brulee or something? That's why you don't want to overmix your eggs. This has that beautiful custard inside of it, and it has that vanilla flavor to it and those vanilla chips. But this is not, like I said, this is not overly sweet, and I think your family is going to absolutely love this. And you can use whatever fruit you want, but I think raspberries are a nice contrast to the little bit of sweetness that's in there. And like I said, it's like a bread pudding. You can serve it for a dessert if you want to. It's absolutely wonderful. Thank you for stopping by Jana's Kitchen.